When most people think of a journal, they probably think of a notebook used to record each day's events. Journals are often used to write down memories and experiences, but they can be much more than that. We can use a journal to explore ourselves and learn how to grow as individuals. Journaling has become an activity that is frequently recommended by mental health professionals because it's so useful in helping us examine how we think and feel and in allowing us to understand how our own minds work. But just writing about what happened during the day in a matter-of-fact way isn't really going to help with personal growth. Journaling has to be done in a more introspective way to be beneficial to our development. There are a lot of ways to journal for self-growth, but the following exercises should be enough to get you started. Number 1, take time for gratitude. It comes up again and again with the topic of personal development, and maybe you're sick of hearing about it, but gratitude is major for happiness. For those hoping to grow into the kind of person who naturally feels happy most of the time rather than depressed or sad or frustrated, learning to identify good things around you is an extremely helpful step. There are a couple of ways you can practice gratitude with your journal. You could simply make an entry listing the things that you're grateful for, or you could pick out a couple of things that you're thankful for and write a bit more in depth about why you're thankful for them and what they mean to you. Either way, you're taking time to focus on positive things in your life and training your brain to look for them. Over time, it'll become a habit, both during your time journaling and throughout the rest of the day, and will result in a notable mood boost. There are 2 keys to doing this exercise. First, when you pick out things you're thankful for, don't pick vague things like friends or family. Be specific and pick out things from your day so that you're used to seeing things to be grateful for in your day-to-day experiences. Second, take a moment to really appreciate each thing. If you get used to feeling gratitude and not just identifying good things, you'll be a much happier person. Tip number 2 is to consider the day's lessons. You've probably heard the old saying, you'll learn something new every day. And we really do. We just have a tendency to overlook small lessons and things that reinforce lessons what we've learned before. Journaling is a perfect opportunity to revisit situations you've experienced early in the day and consider what lessons you can take away from them. If you don't have anything specific in mind, just start by writing about your day. Let's say you worked alongside someone you look up to professionally and you were able to offer more to the project than they were. As you write about the experience, consider what it taught you. In this case, you could have learned that people may not be what you think they are, or you're more capable than you previously thought. Once you've identified that, investigate further. See what that lesson means for you and how you might perceive things differently in the future because of this realization. Learning is a great way to grow. When you're able to learn from your experiences, you develop in the way you see life and the way that you feel in different situations. Tip number 3 is to explore emotions. Examining your emotions is especially useful for people who sometimes feel that their emotions are out of control. Being more aware of what sparks certain emotions and why can be a huge step towards gaining some control over the way that you feel. If you're able to journal while you're experiencing a difficult emotion, that's great, but you can also journal later on and look back at how you were feeling. Write about the emotion you were in when the emotion started, including as much detail as you can so you can see and identify what maybe caused it. Then, when you found the situation, act, phrase, or whatever trigger it might be, you can start to write through your thoughts about why that thing might have provoked you. Maybe it connects back to a hurtful experience or hit on a deep-seated insecurity. You can examine the trigger to work through your emotional connection to it, then try to come up with ways to ease your difficult feelings now and prevent them from taking control of you in the future. This process allows you to understand yourself better so you can get a handle on problematic feelings and eventually let go of them. Tip number 4 is stream of consciousness. Knowing yourself is important for self-growth because it helps you figure out where you could stand to improve or change. Writing in a stream of consciousness style can be an interesting experience and make you aware of things lingering in your mind that you weren't really aware of them before. Bringing these things to the surface can help you get to know yourself and might even give you insights into your needs, wants, fears, and other things. Learning more about yourself can help you make better decisions and what to do with your life and help you find happiness. Stream of consciousness writing is very simple, but it can take some practice to really let loose and just give into it. Start the exercise by closing your eyes, taking a few deep breaths, and clearing your mind. Then, pick up your pen and start writing in your journal. Physical writing is better for you than typing because it allows you to make words bigger or smaller. You can draw images and change the direction. There's much more freedom to express yourself. When you start, simply write whatever comes to your mind. Don't judge what comes out though. It may not seem important or relevant, but you never know where your thoughts will lead you, so let them come out as they are. You don't even have to write in complete sentences or use any kinds of formal punctuation. Just let your thoughts flow out through the pen onto the paper. When you feel like you're done, look back over what you've written. You might actually be surprised by some of the things that came out. Take note of some interesting words or phrases that came out and consider why those things might have came up. They could reveal something about you that you haven't realized before. Tip number 5 is to revisit a tough problem. Life is full of problems, and how you handle them can be the difference between moving forward quickly or getting stuck in them. Using your journal to figure out ways to get through different problems that you run into will help you become better at solving problems, and this extends outside of your journaling time too. You'll find strategies that allow you to move through obstacles more quickly and general solutions that you can apply to many situations. When you're faced with a difficult problem, turn to your journal. Start writing about the situation you're facing, including both the objective facts and the thoughts and feelings that you have about it, because these things do matter. Writing allows you to access the problem-solving part of your brain. So as you write through information, you may have ideas about potential solutions. If not, look over what you've written and consider the details further. When you do come up with an idea, write through how that resolution may work and why it might work. You might find holes in your idea or come up with alternatives that might work better. By the time you're done writing, you'll have a much better idea on how to handle the problem than you did in the beginning, and maybe even a solid solution. The more you approach problems in this way, the better your problem-solving skills will become. Before I end this video, I need to share 2 amazing resources that I feel can greatly benefit you, especially in the terms of journaling. The first is my friend's journaling course. He's had hundreds of people go through the course, and the testimonials really prove the quality. He's basically the expert of journaling, and if you look up YouTube how to journal, a whole bunch of his videos come up. So I highly recommend My Best Journal 2.0. There's a link in the description if you want to learn more. It's basically a course on how to journal by one of my friends, Clark. And of course, if you haven't heard of my Practical Growth Academy yet, you really need to check it out. Basically, I've created a private membership group for those who are serious about self-development and growing themselves. Each week, I'll personally research and answer your questions. We will be reading a book each week where I create an animated book summary, follow along PDFs, and actionable worksheets. And each month, you'll get a mini mastery course where I research and teach you 80% of the foundational topics, and 20% of the time it will take you to learn. The cost to join is less than the price of a book each month, and if you sign up now, you'll get a special bonus. Also, you'll have unlimited access to all the previous content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you learned something.